Hello, everyone. Welcome to Magickal Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moonday Oracle message. And this is going to be a message of higher guidance for the collective or all who find themselves here watching in, whether it's live or the replay. You're here exactly when you most need to be. It doesn't matter how long, how far out you're watching this. So this is for the highest and greatest good for the week of June 1st, 2020. You believe it? Welcome, June. Hi, Kathleen and Alexandria. Welcome, lovely. Hi, June. I just said June, and there you puff up. You gotta love that. Welcome, beautiful. I'm so happy that you could all make it. So while everybody's popping in, I'm going to really quickly go on and just share that I'm live. So just bear with me one moment. How's everybody feeling today? How has your weekend been? I know the energy has been, which we are going to talk all about. Hi, Flo and Noreen. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to see you as well. Hi, Julie. Yeah, I missed everybody. I wasn't here last week, so it feels like it's just been forever. Just get on here and share. Hi, Lara. Welcome, love. Glad you made it. Hey, Lena. Welcome. Oh, June, that's really good to hear. That's a breath of fresh air. Thank you for saying that, feeling hopeful. Yeah, that's a breath of fresh air to hear considering circumstances. So that's what we need. That's where we need to be. Hi, Anna, all the way from Melbourne. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Courtney, Debbie, welcome. Julie says, extremely relaxing. Was in the mountains over the weekend. Oh, go you. I wish I was there. I'm good. That's great to hear. Noreen says, better today. Bad toothache the last 2 days. Oh, no, sweetie. I'm so sorry to hear that. Sending you so much love and healing. And I'm glad to hear it's better, though. Headaches and toothaches. Back pain, too. Awful pain. Oh, hi, Karen. Welcome, love. All right, let me just stop what I'm doing over here so I can focus on everybody. If technology would like to participate. Okay. And last one. Okay. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Karen. Hi, Shelley. Welcome. Hi, Annette. Welcome. Oh, Kathleen. Oh, I'm sorry, hon. I am so sorry that you're still suffering from that. I'm sending you so much love and healing too. You know that. Maybe I just need to create a grid. That's really what I need to do. I need to create a grid that I can just keep up here in my room and just revamp it every time so that I can just put everybody's names into the grid so that we can ensure that everybody's getting what they need. But hoping that everybody has some relief, at least from the physical part of it, the physical pain. Oh, back pain. Oh, man. I'm so sorry. Hi, Laura. Welcome. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on energetically. It could have something to do with a lot of the pain everyone is experiencing. We all know that there are metaphysical aspects to physical pain. So it's just a possibility. It doesn't mean everybody's situations are unique. And obviously, if something is severe, you should always get it checked out. But we're going to talk about that in a second. Hi, Deborah. Welcome, beautiful. All right, so really quickly, everyone, for those of you who are new to my page, the message here that I'm sharing is called my Moonday Oracle Message. I utilize my own intuitive abilities as an oracle, as an energy sensitive and intuitive, to discern messages using oracle cards for us for what we most need to know going through the energy of the week, to give us a little bit of an outlook, insight, heads up into the energy, what we can expect. It really helps us to have that awareness to flow through the energy or flow with the energy, going with the flow, how we can engage situations versus going into something blindly, reacting to it, or struggling against it. So again, it's just all higher good messages here, nothing negative. These are not personal, individualized messages today. This is only a generalized overview for all of us as a collective and what we most need to know. I do offer private personal messages for anybody who is interested in having your own individual reading. You can message me privately and we can schedule a one-on-one. I do those using Facebook Messenger, FaceTime, video chats, also pre-recorded video readings for people who can't be one-on-one. Hi Derek, hi Liz, hi Tracy, hi Bree. Oh, welcome Rose. Oh, it was nice, lovely to see you all. Wow, thank you all for being here. Doug, welcome. I'm glad you're all here. Okay, so usually what I do in the beginning of this is I'll do news and announcements for anything that I might have going on here at Magickal Me, any offers I have, any specials, any events. I also have another business, my sister business with two of my soul sisters, Oracles of the Light, and together we also offer our services, and I like to do the news and announcements. However, right now at this time, there is nothing new to announce. We are currently working on our newsletter. We're a little bit behind with that, so bear with us for those of you who have subscribed. For those of you who haven't subscribed, you can subscribe by going over to www.oraclesofthelight.com. And by going over there, you should get a pop-up that asks you automatically to subscribe to our newsletter. We offer a lot of insight into what might be going on energetically, what you can expect, what you can work with. We give lots of tips, special spirit messages, special mudras to work with throughout the month with you and your family, activities for your family. Also, we like to offer some special bonuses in there that we wouldn't do otherwise, special discounts, readings, things like that. So if you want to subscribe, go on over and do that. If you need help subscribing, just send me a message or Oracles a message and we will help you. And otherwise, hoping to by the end of the week, fingers crossed, it's been a little busy over here. So with that said, I like to then go into what I call the energy or empathy forecast. I talk a little bit about what I feel energetically going on, what I've noticed, maybe if there's anything planetary, astrological that's standing out to me. I like to discuss that just to give you a heads up, better insight. And then I go into the Moonday Message and I'll pull a card and I'll then interpret the card and we'll do that together. And then after that I do a mudra. I'm like losing my train of thought. I will, pull a mudra. And I'll explain what mudras are. Actually, I have a special mudra. And so I won't necessarily be pulling, but I'm going to be talking about this mudra. Anybody who tuned into the Cosmic Heart or Evolving into the Cosmic Heart's live discussion with myself and Rachel Goodwin this morning, or this, depending on where you're at, it was 1 p.m. today, Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central European Time. And the two of us were talking about some very, very interesting things, which you will have to go over and catch the replay for. But also, I did share this mudra there, and I'm going to share it again here because it's very powerful and it's so important. And the way that it came to me is very special. I'll talk about that then. All right. Hi, Casey. I'm glad you made it. Hi, Dawn. Welcome, love. Hello, Nadia. Welcome. All right. So we're getting into the energy forecast. So, how are you? Because the energy it's been interesting for sure. It's been, I don't need to tell you that. Most of you can see what's going on in the world right now. But there's reasons behind reasons for these things too. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that Hi, Lori. Welcome, love. So there's a whole lot happening, and I'm going to do my best to try to stay on track with it. So try to follow me. Very first and foremost thing that is standing out to me is the planet Mars. I believe it moved into the sign of Pisces maybe towards the end of May. I'm not exactly sure at the dates. So let me just tell you a little bit about Mars energy. Hi, Alexandra. Welcome, sweetheart. Just talking the energy forecast, just getting started here. Mars energy is very aggressive energy. It's also, Mars is like the planet, to me personally anyway, the planet of like war. It's like that testosterone to the max type of energy. It does create to me a little bit of irritability. Now, it's not to be seen negatively, even though it feels that and might seem that outwardly. Everything has a rhyme or a reason. All the planets, all the zodiacs, all these events that we have going on, all are acting as catalysts. So Mars being that catalyst, which is pretty, very, I just can't use any other word other than like aggressive to me. It's like very aggressive energy, but it's also driven. So I want to say there's also that side of it that there's a reason for it that assists us in setting intentions and getting out there and doing it. It's not just about saying it, wanting to do it. It's like really getting you out there and driven and doing that like full steam ahead, go. But combined with moving into the zodiac of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. It's one of 3 water signs. It is an incredibly intuitive, deep, emotional sign. Okay, this doesn't matter if you're a Pisces or not, everybody. Just want to put that out there. It doesn't matter. We all have the planets and the zodiacs all over our charts. So we're all going to be impacted, some of us less than others, depending on our charts, but we're all going to be affected by this in some way or other because we're one consciousness. So Pisces is a very spiritual sign. It's also because it's very deep in the sense that it's like, think of deep water. To me, it's like kind of gets a label of being to me like the potential for spiritual leaders. So it's the one that kind of like will go that distance. It will, even though it's incredibly emotional, it also has the side that it can use those emotions to tap into intuition and psychic abilities to the next level. So you take this watery, emotional sign that has a higher purpose, combine that with the energy of Mars, and you have got a recipe for some serious, explosive, emotional outbursts. So I don't know about all of you, but the energy over the weekend was not as rough for me personally as it, even though what we're seeing in the world right now, energetically for myself, as it was closer to the end of last week. The energy got really intense for me, and I did notice that a whole lot of stuff was coming up that I didn't realize was even emotionally and triggering. Things that were like my trigger, we all have like those little trigger buttons that will eventually set you off. My triggers were going off like bombs left and right. And normally I'm the type of person that can just kind of like rein it back, and I can very diplomatically speak my truth. It was almost like I wasn't even in my body anymore, and what was coming out of me was deeply emotional. So I noticed, and that's not like me at all, but it was necessary. It was essential for me to get to the bottom of maybe whatever I was dealing with, for people who were involved in what was going on at the time to also have some awareness. But I also will say that the energy is creating it, because we are all tapped into the collective energies. So we're also feeling that brewing that's occurring with the planetary alignment, which is also triggering underlying emotions. If you look at what's going on in the world right now, it's for good reason. The reasoning is there. What is occurring is a deeper wound that needs addressing, that needs healing. But with Mars being the way that it is having people and energy go off the deep end, which is like, we kind of got to rein that in and find that Got to find that balance there. So emotionally within ourselves, I'm going to just bring that awareness that it is important to find your center with everything that is going on. All right. That's not the only thing that's going on. I'm going to just do my best to glaze through these so we're not here for a very long time talking about it. Marie says, Brie, not Marie, I don't know where that came from. Mars is also a pioneering expression. That's the perfect verbiage. Thank you for saying that. That's what I was trying to kind of allude to with the whole like spiritual leader. And then you've got this aggressive energy that just, it's like putting it forward, full steam ahead. Something has to change. Something has to shift. So it is happening as divinely, really, to create that pioneering pathfinding way of being, changing the way, changing the rules, changing the laws. These are the energies that are required for this type of situation that we're experiencing. So again, there's positives. Excuse me. 1 second. My throat has been doing something really funny since I started today. Since I started going live. It wasn't doing it all day. Throat chakra is being expressed at this time, and I'm gonna address this and put everything else on pause for a second, because if I don't, it'll choke me this entire reading. Throat chakra is a way of coming into our authentic truth, our self-expression, how we express ourselves outwardly in the world. There is a such thing as being blocked in in these energy centers like our throat chakra by not speaking up, by not feeling heard, by not being able to freely express ourselves without worry, without judgment, without fear. This is how we can block ourselves, shut ourselves down, causes lots of problems, builds and festers beneath the surface until eventual eruption, which then leads to overuse of a chakra, and we go to extreme with an overactive throat where we are, I don't have to go into it. We see what's going on right now in the world. So there's you have to find that balance. It is important to be heard. It is important to express. It is important to vocalize, speak up for justice. All of that is so important right now. All of it. And our throat chakras are our authentic centers, our truth, who we are, and it is how we express ourselves in the world. And if you think back, we say that we're free and we live in a time where we're free, but are we? Are we able to express ourselves to an extent? You see? So I think this is really being heightened right now, and Gemini is communication. We're in Gemini season. People keep saying to me, is Mercury retrograde because of what's going on? Mercury is not. It will be very soon. But Mercury is one of Gemini's rulers. So it is being affected. There is communication being prompted right now. So again, but I just want to put this out there for everyone. It is important to vocalize. It is important to speak. It is important to communicate and express and honor your truth. But we do have to find our balances. Everything needs balance, okay? So, hi Scott, welcome. Casey says her boyfriend is a Pisces. Yeah, I have lots of Pisces energy around me, friends-wise, and I'm Scorpio, but again, your sun sign isn't the only thing you're ruled by, but I just tend to notice that I kind of gravitate towards Pisces a lot. Hi Kimberly, welcome. Alexandra says, I feel that also. I want to cry each time I see the news and what's happening in our world and just want to hide, but also want to yell and scream. Why? You're feeling my energy also. I know I'm not alone. Thanks for words. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're feeling the collective because we're one. Everybody, we are one. We're fighting for unity. We're fighting for people to wake up and realize that, because we are already one. We always have been. What you do to me, you do to yourself. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we're feeling everyone. And the best thing that I can tell you with that is to disengage the lower vibrational aspects of it. I talked about this earlier today on the Cosmic Heart. Disengage from the lower vibrational aspects. Honor your emotions. Feel that. Allow it, but process it positively if you can. Getting outside in nature and really grounding your energy. And nature naturally stabilizes and harmonizes energy fields. So spending as much time out in nature is a really good way to help to stabilize those energies. We're going to work with a mudra today that's going to help us all. So I'm going to encourage that as well. But I completely understand. Yeah, absolutely. So another thing that's going on in lieu of all of this, now that my throat is done being expressed, you see, I told you, it's like if I don't acknowledge it, it won't stop. Another thing that is going on is that there was a drastic spike in the Schumann resonance, and I almost called it the human resonance. Is that a Freudian slip? Possibly. The Schumann resonance, I talked about this before. I talk about it a lot when I can notice it's going on, because you can just, the energy in people, in pets, especially pets and children, it just tends to go, they start to kind of like act out of character and really start to kind of go haywire and off the wall. So the Schumann resonance is a theory basically based on the Earth's electromagnetic field, or electromagnetic frequency spiking and shifting, and how that is linked, because we're all one, that is linked to humans and animals, everything in the world tends to be affected by it. And so we'll notice that when the Earth's electromagnetic frequency jumps suddenly in frequency, people tend to feel it energetically. People will start to notice they will be having some sort of physical symptoms that are just sudden, unexpected, and unexplainable, and then just suddenly go away again. So that could be behind some of those physical symptoms people are suddenly feeling. I know I read a post a few days ago by someone. It may have been a page called Alana Divine Healing. And I'm not sure 100% if it was her page or not, but she does talk about energy every day. And there was mention of physical symptoms. And I know back pain was one of them. I know stomach issues, digestive issues were another one, headaches. I don't know if teeth pain were mentioned. But to me, teeth are transmitters. That's how I see them. I see teeth. And oftentimes when I'm like pulling in energy or getting ready to like channel something, my teeth will start vibrating. So I do believe that teeth are transmitters. And so if there's something, that's coming through, or, trying to be cleared so energy and information can come through, that could also be causing the pain. I'm not saying it's the, spirit everything away. Don't go get something looked at. You should absolutely get something looked at. But also, teeth are connected to your root chakra. Your root chakra rules over your physical presence, your ability to feel safe and protected in the world. Think about that. Many of us are not feeling very safe and protected in the world. The world is upside down, and our ways of living and life and being are just completely turned upside down. Our stability has completely been turned upside down. So I'm not surprised about the teeth pain right now. All right. Also, it just keeps coming. There are, I read something about, I've talked in the past about solar flares and solar storms. So when these flares, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know how to scientifically explain this, but I'm going to tell you how I see it in my head, is that the energy intensifies on the sun so much so that it causes like these storms of balls of fire. And they just, when they do this, they are affecting the energy field around them, some of them flaring closer to Earth, which is then causing us to feel this. Now, the sun is a direct link to our power centers, our solar plexus, our core. It is really like our core of existence. I will say that yesterday, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Karen. Karen woke up with excruciating pain in her solar plexus, and it took quite some time to subside. This morning, I actually woke me up out of a sleep with excruciating pain in my solar plexus. And I really felt like, I don't know, like I just kind of had to like get up and breathe through it. I was able to go back to sleep, but throughout the day, periodically, it's been coming and going, which is very unusual. It's not like nausea. It's nothing like that. It's actual pain, like cramping or something happening, and then it goes away again. So it lasts for like a period of minutes, and then it goes away again. It's very strange, but I do know that what I read about the solar flares that are happening right now are the most intense they've ever been. Well, not ever. In the last 3 years, they are the most intense they have been since 2017. So that's pretty intense to everybody. So stomach stuff, I am not surprised if you are feeling it. Our power center is also, it's how we learn to, it goes, I will say it goes hand in hand with that expressing yourself authentically and your truth here, because you need to be standing in your power. You need to have that, that courageousness, that energy, that fearlessness in order to be able to step boldly forward. You see what I'm saying? So it's all aligning. Lots of us have so many, I see working with clients, we see like what are like cords, hooks, ties, and things that shut down our solar plexuses. So imagine right now that those solar flares are intensifying the purge and the releasing of those karmic, ancestral, blocking, stagnant imprints, whatever they might be, stuck within our solar plexus, really shutting us down from being able to come into that power, that place of power, right? So, yeah, Karen says, I had the solar plexus stuff going on too. Oh my goodness. Dawn says, explains a lot. Alexandra explains a lot. Bree, me too. I did too. Bridge says, the worst is feeling stuck between two teeth and one. Oh no, see, teeth again. My goodness. Hi Ingrid, welcome hun. I'm glad you made it. Julie says, I get sensations in my teeth when channeling as well. Wow, thanks for confirming that. Hi Harley. Yeah, I'm going to go back and check up comments too that I might have missed everybody, okay? So I don't want you to think I'm skipping anybody. Scarlett says, wow, that is totally what I've been going through the past week. It explains so much. June says, yep. See, so I do not want you to spirit things away. That's my term for saying just let something go, because there are spiritual underlying issues to things, or metaphysical. Yes, there are. There are. However, when something becomes physical, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it is needed to be treated physically, medicinally, or by an actual physical doctor instead of like dealing with things metaphysically. Do you see what I'm saying? So dealing with things when they're metaphysical, perfect. Sometimes when they become physical, not all the time. We do need to ensure that everything might need to be looked at by an actual doctor. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. I would never want anybody to think that, well, it's just solar flares, so I'm not going to go get this looked at and then it's something. Okay, so just use your own common sense and your own intuition. Listen to yourself. If something needs to be checked, please get it checked. Okay. All right, so that's a few things that are going on. With that said, the full moon is coming up on the 5th or 6th, depending on where you are this week. I believe Friday is the 5th. So it's not just any old full moon. So is it ever anymore? Is it ever just a full moon anymore? It's not. So this full moon is, well, all full moons, I will just tell you, are about the completions of a cycle. Usually a 1-month cycle. You usually go full moon to full moon is the completion of a cycle, though we could be working through things from a few cycles. It's always different and unique for everybody. But full moon is also a time of heightened energy. It is when the moon is at its peak of power. So it is also a time of empowerment. All right. Add in the fact that it is also going to be a lunar eclipse. And this will kick off what we call eclipse season. There are going to be quite a few eclipses following in the next few months, okay? This is a lunar eclipse. All eclipses represent major transformational occurrences. They bring about radical change. And how do I want to word this? Because I'm not about fear mongering and planting seeds of fear, but it's always necessary change. Okay, so I just want to say that it does bring about endings for new beginnings. The fact that we have like 3 or 4 back to back coming up is like we're just beginning a cycle that will leave us radically changed by the end of those cycles. So all of the things that are coming up, I do want you to understand that these are all for the greater good. They're all serving a higher purpose. Even though surface-wise, it might not look it. It might feel a little more upside down than we already are. But it's also facilitating great change. This is empowering us to be able to step into our truth. Step out of the old. Leave behind those things that have not been serving or working. Really breaking a stalemate. Really breaking chains is what I'm feeling is coming. All right. So that's coming up starting this week. You will begin to feel, or probably are already beginning to feel it, but usually there's like a 3-day window where you really do start to feel the energy of the window of that full moon eclipse about 3 days prior to it even happening. So it's all going to bring up this radical transformation, but let me just also take it a step further and tell you, I find it interesting that that full moon eclipse is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius. Why is that important? Sagittarius is currently the south node of the planet. It's currently the Sagittarius is currently in the south node. Everyone has a north and a south node in their charts. To me, how I've understood it, the north node represents our dharma. This is like where we are evolving into, where we're going. It's almost like if there was an equator, you have the north here and the south here. We start out, if you will, with all of the energy of the south, which is the karma. Dharma is the north, karma is the south. You start out in that place of having all of this karmic situations. So depending on where, what sign you're in, it tells you the karmic lessons that you really have to work through in your lifetime. And once you start to work through those, you rise out into your dharma, right? And your dharma is when you can start to move forward, what you begin to embrace in your life and in the world. On a collective level, we are in Sagittarius eclipse, which is currently the south node of karma. This is what we need to release. So a mass release of karmic stuff not working, not serving. We cannot take it with us when we evolve and shift. If we want to evolve and shift, this is the stuff we can no longer accept. We can no longer take. We have to learn these lessons from it. So do you see how it's essentially serving a good thing? It is essentially helping us to say no more. Does that make sense? So again, incredibly complicated stuff. I hope that it made sense to all of you, but I just wanted to share all of that because I want you to understand the capacity of what is really occurring behind the scenes. We see all this stuff going on outwardly in the surface, in our physical environments. We see what's going on, but when you understand and have a bit of an awareness of what's going on energetically to create all of this, you can see the divine orchestration playing out, that it's all serving us. All right? So that's it for this week. This month of June is going to be jam-packed with high energy, life-changing events and occurrences, with the solstice coming, a solar eclipse coming on the solstice, which is also a new moon. So it's a solstice, new moon, solar eclipse. It's like, the pressure just doesn't, it doesn't let up. It just keeps building. So what I'm going to tell you all, disengage, disconnect from, there's a layer, there's polarity in everything, right? And I talked about this earlier today on Evolving into the Cosmic Hearts page. There's polarity within everything. So that means you have a lower layer and then you have a higher layer. The lower layer is the stuff that's occurring because of triggers of things that needed to occur. But when things when triggers happen and these situations come up, people that don't understand energy, or they don't understand what's going on from a big picture, engage, and it causes lots of reactions, and it causes lots of other people to be affected, because we're all connected. We all feel that energy. So it creates this whole ripple effect. The best thing that I can tell you is to, without, I'm not telling you to be blind to what's going on and completely removing yourself. I'm not telling you to do that. I want you to disengage from the lower vibrational energies, behaviors, and my dogs are having like a howling fest downstairs. So disengage from all of that and instead come into center. The mudra that I'm going to share today is going to help. But also, as I spoke of, getting outside in nature, going for walks, going for runs, dancing, singing, those things like that can actually, they move energy, they clear energy as well. Nature is number one for stabilizing energy. Being out there and doing that, working with the violet flame, if you know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, you can check on YouTube. There's tons of like guided visualizations and meditations to help you with the violet flame. This helps to transmute energy, because we want to take the energy that we might be feeling and we want to take it, acknowledge it, but then we want to turn it into a positive and put it out. By you being within your center, by you being in that place of peace and centeredness, it affects the collective. And consciously sending that peace outward, that love for all outward, it can create the ripple effect. You are so much more powerful than any of you give yourself credit for, than any of us realize, myself included, have ever realized of what we can achieve. All right? If you understand that you are a strand in a web, you understand how you can, just by the movement of your strand, it could be felt on the other strands and create that ripple. All right? So, welcome Gina and Meredith. Thank you for being here. Glad you could make it. I just wrapped up the energy forecast, or I hope I just wrapped up the energy forecast. It's a lot. So we're going to move into the oracle message for the week. Let's see what I may have missed. Hey Tor, I didn't see you sneak in. Thanks for being here. I hope you're well. Let's see. What did I miss? Oh, Beth, thank you, sweetheart. You've been gardening and house cleaning. Yes, I've been gardening too. I think I've breaking the bank on flowers because I just want to be with them. That's all I want to do, is I want to be with the flowers, and I just want to create that environment where I'm just at peace. That's what's happening. That's what I'm doing. So good for you. Bree says, I was wondering, my empathic pup has been very unlike himself this past week. I was wondering if he was experiencing those. Oh, absolutely. For sure. Whenever there's big spikes in energy like that. And you know what's interesting? I shared a post today. I don't know if you saw it. And I forget the name of the person who posted. It's a new page that I just started following. I'll share it with you, or I may have shared it on Magickal Me as well. It basically, I've always known that animals and children, especially energy sensitive children, they're really affected by any shifts in, with the light, from like solstice or equinox, any of these, big occurrences that we have, like eclipse and things like that. the electromagnetic frequency of the planet kind of spiking. They're sensitive to anything. But there was a post that explained how your animals may be reacting in lieu of all of this, and it gave it a different perspective as well, that said that because they are so new, they're so new here to the planet. Doesn't mean their soul is, but at least they're newer, because everything that's been being birthed onto the planet in the last, I don't know, at least maybe 20 something years, could be more than that, but layers and waves, different waves come in. But from what I at least see with like starseed children, they come in attuned to higher frequency already, which is why they are so incredibly sensitive to things. You know, if you notice that, a lot of special needs children cannot tolerate things that we could tolerate food-wise. Now it's like bringing awareness to, we cannot have all of these chemicals in our food. We've got to go a little bit more organic now. We've got to watch all these dyes that are contributing to ADHD type behavior, where, you know, it's making them being unable to focus and concentrate, and their energy spikes, overstimulates. It's because they're coming into this world built on, they already have this high frequency in them. They already come in with these higher awareness, even if they don't outwardly show this. They're here to assist in changing the planet. They're here to assist in changing with their frequency. And this could be a whole nother conversation, but I just want to tell you this because it's really cool. And so when there's an energy overload, they absorb it all. And so their job is to transmute it. They're like walking violet flames. Their job is to transmute it. But there has to be an outlet for it, right? You know, so like when you have something like a lot of emotions come in, what happens? You got to like bounce off the wall, or maybe people start crying. There's your release, or even laughter. So with children and animals, especially young children, they can't really express it, right? So it comes out in like it might be a tantrum. It might be high energy, and they're running around your house like, you know, superhero jumping off the walls and the furniture. They have the high energy. Or your animals are feeling very lethargic. Maybe your children just want to sleep a lot. It's because they are transmuting, and they have to release that energy and let it out somehow. They're also picking it up from us and taking it and transmuting it from us. Isn't that amazing? I've been working with children, especially what I consider starseeds. I have starseed children. My animals are incredibly energetically sensitive. I never realized that, but the moment I heard it, it was like click. It all just resonated and made sense. So I thought that was fascinating. So yes, this week, your animals, your fur babies are all probably going to be showing some sort of, you know, they might be feeling funny, not wanting to eat. Maybe, I know the end of last week, my dog vomited a couple times. So yeah. Bridge said there were two blackouts too over the weekend in the resonance. Oh, high energy. That'll do it. Monielle, hi, sweetheart. Welcome. I've been taking time outside. Good for you. I have to be outside every day, and I do find that I get incredibly frustrated if it's raining. I can't be out there, or it's something going on. I can sit outside in the rain, but if it gets too crazy, then obviously we can't. But yeah, so I'm right there with you. Bree says, or experiencing something I didn't know what it was until you mentioned this certain energy. Noreen says, mine was radiating. Ooh. Lost the feeling I cannot get it fixed, so I'm in pain daily. I am so sorry. I really am. I will tell you that one time I had a friend who was having some serious, I don't know what's going on downstairs, by the way. I really don't. I apologize. I had a friend that had a serious root canal pain. He must see another dog or something outside, because he would only do that for that. It's Anubis again, by the way. So I heard a message to tell them to listen to like binaural beats for specifically for pain, and I myself had never listened to it. Sure enough, they YouTubed binaural beats for teeth pain and said it put them right to sleep, and they were instantly pain-free. Now, they had to redo it and re-listen to it a couple of times, obviously, after that. But it took like the intensity away. So maybe give that a try and see if that helps for those of you who are having a hard time with your teeth right now. dentist. Okay, just making sure I didn't miss anything else. Alexandra says, my 11-year-old daughter by accident ran over a small lizard. She cried nonstop. Oh, because she said she didn't mean to hurt it and was worried about what will happen to her because she did that. Oh, such a sweetheart. Oh, she can feel, yeah, and she can feel it too. Oh, what a sweetheart. Oh. Laughing like your pups need to disengage. That's funny. Yeah, they're trying to engage. I have no idea I don't know where all the people are in my house either that live here. They just magically disappear all the time. So it's always like a free-for-all, only when I go live. It's funny. All right. Oh, Gina. Okay, I was just reading what you're saying. All right. Thank you, everybody, for commenting and sharing all that, because when you do share, it does help other people to kind of see that there's something maybe that they're experiencing, you know, someone else is experiencing, and then it helps people to really understand that it's not just them and there's something else going on to it. So, yeah, thanks for commenting, everybody. All right, let's get into the actual oracle message. So I decided to work with Cheryl Yambrick Rose's Transcendent Journey Oracle cards again. I really, really love this deck. You hear me talk about it all the time. I can't talk about it enough. Amazing deck. Definitely relevant for the times that we're in. All right. So, let us see what guidance comes forward for the world as a collective's highest and greatest good for the week of June 1st, 2020. Ooh, we got a card. How perfect. This is perfect. So I think Spirit kind of saw like we covered everything else that we needed to talk about. Disengaging, finding your inner peace, connect with nature. I think Spirit was like, okay, you covered it all. Talked about everything else. Here's the one thing that above all is so, so important. The card is number 14, which breaks down numerically to be a number 5. Number 5 is the energy of change. It is the energy of expansion and growth. So I do want everyone to think about that and what we are experiencing at this time, even though it might not seem like it. What we are experiencing is growth, is expansion. But in order for growth and expansion to occur, you do have to have those moments of taking the first step forward, stepping out of the comfort zone and really kind of like throwing those doors wide open. And I think energetically that's what's going on, is this turbulence that comes along with that. I talked about this today. I channeled a message for, everybody knows that if you have not seen on my Evolving into the Cosmic Heart discussions with Rachel Goodwin every Monday at 1 p.m. We also have a private group now. And this private group, the two of us go in and we share channeled messages, symbols, different ascension tools that we work with. And that is available. If you go check out the page, you'll see the information to be able to register and join. But today I just received a message about that. And it was really talking about how starting over is never easy. But in order for us to see the changes that we so want in the world, that we're so demanding occur, it does require some breaking down of old systems, and that can be messy. So with that 5 comes change, it comes growth, it comes expansion, but it isn't easy. It can be painful, it can be scary, but the point is it's for growth. It is happening for our highest and greatest good. The card is Let Your Love Flow, and it is the goddess of love. Aphrodite, Venus. So, and then you've got the dolphins in the background, and if you have been kind of following along with the Evolving into the Cosmic Heart work and messages that have been coming through, the dolphins have really been making themselves known to me, which is very new. And they are those messengers of love. If you remember in the very beginning of the coronavirus becoming, and in Italy, they went first to go into isolation, along with China. And the appearance of dolphins coming back into, I think it was like the bay there, and they haven't seen dolphins there in how long. And the messages that I started receiving back then were about the dolphins coming in to bring the new codes. They're the earth builders, and they're here bringing love codes, light codes, architecture codes to help us to build this new bridge to the new template of new earth, which is really a new consciousness. So the way there is through love. Don't hold it back. Don't let those wounds keep your hearts guarded anymore. I know that it's not about right and wrong anymore. It is about love. It is about moving together and seeing the bigger picture of what is going on, and knowing that every single person is still worthy of love. Every single person, we all do things, we all react, we all express ourselves, but every person on this planet is worthy of love. And the way to freedom, the way to unity and equality is love, okay? So let your love flow. This week, don't hold it back. Give it freely, and you will receive it as well. So it's that process of what we create and what we put out is really the world that we begin to create. We are the dolphins. We are the architects. We are building with everything that we do. So what are we putting out? It is time for us to take responsibility. What are we putting out into the world? How can we be the difference and affect change positively? With love. Because love is all there is. Love is the only way. Okay? So, if you want to call in the energy of the goddesses of love, as there are many of them, you can do so. You can also call in the archangels of love, which are Charity, Chamuel. You can connect with their energy, and you can ask and focus sending love out freely to wherever you feel you're called to send it out to. If it's just humanity in general, okay? If it's certain areas right now that, send it wherever you want to. Give love freely. The next person, this stranger, this person in the store, send them love. Give them love. You can say love with a smile. You can say love with a tip. You can say love with your glasses are beautiful. I love your glasses. I love your hair. Anything to spread that love light. You can do that. Let that love flow. Don't hold back. Say what you mean. Okay? Very simple after a very long empathy message. Very simple oracle message, but also important. Look at that. To me, that's the moon in the background there. So let it flow, my friends. We've been working, if you saw, with Rachel Goodwin and I not this past Friday, the Friday prior, we went live on Evolving into the Cosmic Heart, and we shared a light transmission between the two of us. I worked with heart expansion and womb expansion or sacral expansion, and she worked with throat expansion, and the two of us just anchored that energy together and worked, and we did it live. So the replay is still there, available for everyone. If you haven't seen it, I absolutely encourage you to check it out, because it's only going to assist you. And I will tell you that right before I started the live today, I started feeling like I was having heart palpitations, and my heart started feeling really tight, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. It's why I was a little delayed today. I couldn't figure out what was going on until I sat down and actually went live. It stopped. And that's how I know it's like my body trying to tell me something. I now completely understand what it's trying to say. Let your love flow. Don't hold back. Give freely. Express yourself with love. That's another thing, we talk a lot about, what we're doing right where our throat chakras are asking us to express ourselves authentically here in the world. But how you express yourself authentically in the world is also through expressing yourself with love. And there goes my throat chakra again, tickling. Absolutely communicate love in everything you do. Okay? Absolutely, Kathleen. So important. We're all light bearers. If you are here listening, you are a light bearer. You are here to help pave the way, hold the light. Doesn't matter what else is going on. Just hold the light. hold the love. That's what we're here to do. That is new earth building, my friends. Okay? So we will get into the mudra really quickly, and then we will wrap it up, and I will let you all return to your evenings. So I talked about this earlier on evolving into the cosmic heart. I'm going to say it again. The end, I told you I do receive sometimes messages. Sometimes I receive sigils and signs and symbols. Sometimes I receive apparently mudras. For the first time ever, I was minding my own business, calling in, my higher self, and just getting ready to, what I do every day, connect with my higher self, get some guidance. And a flash before my mind's eye was a mudra that I have never seen before. So it kind of looked like this. It did look like this. It formed a triangle, and my hands were very specific. My fingers were all very specific, and I saw an eye open and looking at me through the triangle in the center, which to me was very representative of the triangle with the all-seeing eye. But I had never seen this mudra before. So I reached out to Angie Walters, who is, one of my very dear friends and soul sisters of Crystal Essence Healing, who does work a lot with different mudras, knows a lot more. And when I showed it to her, she said, Jamie, that is a combination of more than one mudra. And she said, and this is something that's really fascinating that she herself has been noticing lately and wants, to talk about and work with more. Mudras are like sign language. They are light language in sign language, right? They are Sanskrit, really, based on Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is one of the original forms of thought to be light language. One of the first languages on the planet. So it's like using sign language, but light language. And most of you who have witnessed my light language transmissions will know that you have seen me. I do something with my hands a lot, and I'll catch myself doing different mudras, and I'm not even aware that I'm doing them. It is like sign language, but it goes with the light language. So these were like mudras in motion is really how I understood it when she explained it to me. So I was communicating language with my hands with one mudra, because it's actually the process of moving from what is known as the Sita mudra, and then it expresses itself into the next syllable, which is the Mani Ratna. Did I say it right? Mani Ratna mudra. So the Sita mudra actually translates to consciousness. It's a big one. Working with it triggers awakening of awareness and consciousness, helps us focus inwards and observe our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs more clearly. How important is that right now? When all of these energies and all of this stuff is like running amok, our emotions are on high, we're not thinking clearly. Many of us are not thinking clearly right now because we're too driven by Mars energy and emotions and the change that we need, right? So lots of energy, not thinking clearly. This helps us focus that energy to still get the job done. We still want the goal. We still get this jobs done, but it helps us bring our awareness back into our body and expand our consciousness at the same time. Then you have the Mani Ratna mudra, which translates into oneness. What have we been talking about this whole time? What is the purpose of everything happening? For unity, for oneness, right? It is global healing, bringing health, harmony, and integration on all levels of being. How amazing is that, this mudra that I was shown? So we're going to do this one together. So what I'm going to tell you how to do this, for those of you who want to participate, feel free. We're going to do this now together. And then for those of you who do not want to participate, you don't have to. But I'm interested to see, since it does assist with bringing healing to health-wise, those of you who might be suffering from some things right now who've shared that, I would love to hear if this does assist you in some way, okay? So take your pointer finger and your thumbs, okay? And then you're going to take your pointer finger and stick it behind your thumb, okay? Then you're going to take your middle fingers and touch them, and then touch your thumbs so you form a triangle. But now we're going to take the rest of our fingers and we're going to bring them down. Then we're going to take our hands, and we're going to place it between our throat and heart, which is our higher heart chakra, our thymus. Okay? It's good. Does everybody want me to do that again? Try it one more time. Thumb and pointer finger. You're going to take the pointer finger, stick it behind the thumb. Take your middle fingers, stick them together. Form a triangle by touching your thumbs. Bring the rest of the fingers. Okay? All right. Unfortunately, I don't have a proper picture of this. I will try and take a photo of it to share it later, if I can. That might be a little difficult, but I will try my best, okay? So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And release. Again, nice deep breath in through your nose. And release. Last time, deep breath in. And just focus on that global healing, that focusing, that awareness, and release. And you can state, I am in oneness with all. I am in oneness with all. I am in oneness with all. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. And as we were doing that last bit there, I actually started having flashes of a fleur-de-lis. I don't know if everybody is familiar with that. It's usually most associated with France. But it's like the three plumes. You know, you see like the two go out this way and the one in the center, which is representative of the Holy Trinity. Also, the threefold flame within our heart chakra to me looks like a fleur-de-lis. Oftentimes, when I access my this place, it's a chakra between, I don't go into too many details, but between my crown and my third eye, I also see the fleur-de-lis be activated. So that's very powerful, everyone. So I just want you to know, for me to be able to see that, it does signify activating of either our threefold flame within our heart or that higher chakra here. I always do forget the name of it, but I'll talk more about that another day. So thank you so much for being here with me, everybody, for being present. Thank you for doing the work that you do. Just being who you are is helping. Hold the light, hold the love, and find that peace within, and it ripples the change outwardly, okay? Love and magical blessings. Work with that mudra all week long. Keep me posted on how things go for you, okay? Blessings to you as well, Kathleen and Beth. Thank you all so very much. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.